The final form of the Choo-Choo, the Dreadquake train. I haven't featured all that much on my channel, mostly because it's insanely expensive, clocking in at a whopping 3,350 points with the Hellforged attribute. It is an insanely expensive piece. I definitely recommend you take this, no, sorry, not the Hellforged, the Hellbound rather, mostly because physical resistance is very huge with something with this amount of HP. It does have 10,000 HP, obviously, acts as a massive terror-inducing, armor-piercing chariot with that huge shooting attack, of course. Very strong, it can be at least, but also very expensive. Today I'm up against Flying Taco's Greenskins. Got the Dreadquake train here. I've got Jetta the Black, a Demonsmith Sorcerer of Death, and one of Fire. The Fire is the one with the actual spells. I'm getting charged in the face here by some pump wagons. We've got Grimgore leading the way, Black Orc, Big Boss as well, a bunch of Orc boys, Night Goblin Archers, a couple of Rock Lobbers in the far distance there. And then, yeah, I believe there's an Orc Caster mixed in there as well. We've got some Boar Boys attacking the flanks. And then for myself, the 3 Ironsworn, yeah, Laborers, and then the Train, and the Heroes. And that's pretty much it. We've got Wolf Boys here, Oglacon's Wolf Boys as well, for a little bit of light cavalry. But immediately we're going to throw the grenades into the Boar Riders. And that will do some serious friendly fire to those Laborers. But, of course, going to see away those Boar Riders, and I'm going to use the train here as a chariot to kind of disrupt the attack of the pump wagons. Try and delay their advance a little bit here and disrupt them heavily so they can't just charge straight in, kind of countercharge in here with the Ironsworn, the Blazing Beards as well, rather than 3 Ironsworn, rather it's the Blazing Beards and 2 Ironsworn, just for cheaper grenades on the one, but still, pump wagons, Spore Splodas, ROR, easily dispatched there. The Oglacon's Wolf Boys are also countercharging in. We're going to unleash a little bit of a flame storm here. Doesn't hit the best blob. It probably could have timed that a little bit better, but it is going to still travel through, do some damage to these Orc Boys, hopefully do some damage to the Boar Boys. The Dreadquake, of course, going to be raining shots the whole time as it drives around and charges into various units. But Boar Boys are a little bit tough for the Oglacon's Wolf Boys to handle. Wolf Boys, of course, are quite squishy in comparison. So the train's going to have to try and just push through the Boar Boys as they attempt a little bit of a surround here. Although it does have very good mass, especially with that active ability popped, that more power here. Not currently active, but still. Nice for the Gork going to be popped. Do a huge amount of damage to those Blazing Beards. Oh no, those are the actual Immortals. Okay. I'm getting my RORs all mixed up here today. So not the Blazing Beards, in fact, the actual Immortals. So no grenades. It is 3 Ironsworn, and those Immortals are going to be quite expensive, but of course, a lot of damage output. But anyway, Wolf Riders coming in here, getting a rear charge on those Ironsworn as they duke it out with Black Orcs. Not a great situation for them, although they're still holding out quite well. Big Wah is popped. Map Wide is well going to be giving the Greenskins huge buffs. Unfortunately, this character situation is going very badly for me. I definitely don't want to trade Jaten into Grimgore or even my caster into the Big Boss or anything like that. So I'm going to try and kite as much as I can and avoid the characters, try and beat them on army losses in the late game. For now, just unleashing a Flame Storm, trying to bail out the Dreadquake, keep it moving. Haven't healed it too much yet so far, but let's just kind of keep a little wide view here. The Ironsworn continue fighting. Those Rock Lobbers have just been feasting value the whole time as well. Both have probably paid for themselves already and still have quite a bit of ammunition left to fire in on my Ironsworn. So not the best situation for me, but at least Jatan's able to net Grimgore and run away from him. And, you know, live to fight another day. Meanwhile, the train is doing its best to just massacre everything else. Certainly that perfect vigor is pretty important. The fact that it can continue charging and shooting at full vigor, in my opinion, is super critical, especially for this particular war machine. This Hellbound might not be that useful for a lot of the other war machines, but for this one in particular, because it's both charging and shooting quite a bit, both of those actions drain vigor pretty substantially, and you really don't want it to get slowed down where it can get more easily bogged down. But on this particular charge, it's going to take quite a few arrows from those goblins, which is not the most comfortable situation, but still, Spore Exploders charging in and immediately just detonating themselves on the side there. I have no idea what exactly caused that, but kind of hilarious. And here comes the train just charging through these goblin archers. Oh yeah, just crushed under the Hellforge wheels of the Iron Demon plus the Dreadquake. It is a pity that the other artillery pieces can't be towed. Magma Cannon and the Death Shaper rocket, but still very cool. You can see that Reforge is active, trying to heal through some of the damage incoming from those Boar Boys. Thankfully, they get terrified away pretty quickly, but Grimgore is legitimately scary, even for the train. Hoping I'll have enough to try and cycle charge him to death at the end, but we'll see. For the time being, the train's still got a lot to get through. I'm behind on the balance of power, but I'm pretty confident as long as I can keep the train alive, should be able to carry me pretty much until the end game here. Especially with the loss of the Boar Boys. I mean, they're kind of low leadership enough that they're not going to be a huge factor against the train anymore. There's not a lot of threats to the train to slow it down, hold it in place for Grimgore to then come and finish it off. But yeah, my own infantry here, the Ironsworn, has been largely struggling, you know, against those rock lobbers. If we check in again as another Flamestorm pops on those cavalry there, wrecking those Boar Boys. Yeah, both of the rock lobbers. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to really direct the mortar's fire onto them too much. You might have saw that hit just land there on that rock lobber. Hopefully we'll rout them off, but because I've been using it actively in melee, just charging it around, I haven't really had the opportunity to direct its shooting attack specifically to one location. Those rock lobbers have been alarmingly effective, but that charge straight down the side of that goblin unit pretty much just shatters them instantly. Between getting a direct hit there, getting the Flamestorm, and charged in the side by the Dreadquake, and suddenly things are starting to even out a little bit in terms of the balance of power. Dreadquake can now start focusing on these characters, and this is not an interaction that I really expected to have to think about very much, but we'll see how it does against these characters. The nice thing about the War Machines of the Chaos Dwarfs is their attack animation is kind of just like a steam explosion in many ways, which means that it can hit units on any side of it, and it can actually consistently hit foot characters in my experience, especially considering, you know, anti-infantry bonus and a decent amount of weapon strength as well. So we'll see how they do, but currently my dwarf characters are just getting terrorized. That Demon Smith just gets murdered by Grimgore, and then he turns his attention over to whatever unlucky soul is next here. This other Demon Smith sorcerer, who is now going to have to cut and run through the hills or face his own untimely demise. Looks like calling up one more spell here, perhaps? No? A little bit of, yeah, Cascading Fire Cloak to juice up the melee defense of the Iron Demon, juice up its weapon strength as well as it tries to fight. Zatan does have a decent amount of HP left. He hasn't gotten completely massacred yet, but that's probably about to change as he faces multiple orc single entities in melee. He does get a good hit, though, and finish off that Orc Shaman, so perhaps if he can continue to kind of be the anvil, while the Iron Demon acts as a massive demon steam-motivated hammer, perhaps. But the fact that the Iron Demon kind of has a slow turnaround due to its size, the way it kind of functions, it's going to be a little bit awkward to try and cycle charge very efficiently here, but we'll see. Honestly, it might be better for me to just charge in and leave it in melee. We'll talk more about that in just a minute here. For the time being, I'm going to try and take advantage of the charge bonus as much as I can, and also not take as much damage as possible in just continuing to cycle charge, but get a little bit caught up right there. Got some laborers and Ironsworn filtering in once again, but Zatan gets caught out by Grimgore, and that's not where he wants to be, so he's going to once again be forced to bravely run away. But nope, your next is popped. His speed gets debuffed, melee defense down to only 15, and he's not long for this world. Oh, will he get away from Grimgore? Grimgore is trying to decide. Ooh, that long-range axe swipe almost gets him. Zatan comes in for another attack, actually, very bravely. With the train coming in as reinforcement, train is actually able to screen Grimgore away. Here comes Bob, Black Orc boss, coming in to try and finish the job. 490 left on Zatan. Looks like Bob actually had a charge order on the Dreadquake, so Zatan is actually able to get away there. One more Dreadquake shot. Will it actually land? Nope. Pretty much completely misses those Goblin Archers, but is still almost enough to rout them off. Just the mere thought of getting hit by that Dreadquake is pretty much enough, but with all the healing, I've just about been able to heal cap Dreadquake, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. It's also accrued a very good amount of value. Still hasn't quite paid for itself, but let's see how it can do against these two orc characters as the Bob there goes for a big old ride, getting catapulted off the side. Grimgor getting some hits. He's going to pop his Bloodforged armor. But if I can keep these two split up as much as possible, that would also be fantastic. But definitely don't want to be shot by those goblin archers. We're forced to choo-choo on over there. Get a quick tear route. Nice hit and run. Oof, that steam explosion out the back car, too. Just does so much damage. Very impressive stuff, honestly. Now, train wheels around once again. Oh, absolute brutality. Grimgor doesn't get knocked over there. He actually manages to fully retaliate. But this is going to go on for some time, so we'll fast forward as the train attempts to cycle charge. I do technically still have Jaten here in the Ironsworn. It might have been a little bit of desyncing, to be honest. This is from the early access patch, technically, and I don't believe there were any changes to the live patch, but there might have been some small ones. But anyway, yeah, this is maybe going to go a little bit better than I was expecting. Like I said, that steam attack you can see is getting fairly consistent hits, especially on Bob. Grimgor is also taking a little bit of damage here, but I feel like if I had a little bit more HP left, if I'd done a little bit more damage to Grimgor over the course of the battle, I might have been able to pull out this endgame here, but as it stands, just not enough HP left against those two orc characters. End up dismantling the train, explodes in spectacular fashion. Did it end up paying for itself, though? Yes, it did. And then some, a little bit. 36,000 damage dealt overall, though, and definitely carried my build super hard. I mean, the Ironsworn really didn't do much. Yeah, they're generally pretty solid overall, but they do suffer from many of the weaknesses of elite infantry, namely being vulnerable to getting blasted long-range artillery, which both of the rock loppers here just feasted value. Because of that, they really didn't have the tools to respond to them appropriately. Yeah, Oglacon's Wolf Boys did okay as well. Arguably, I probably should have just had more volume of stuff here. Maybe cut one of the Ironsworn and just go a little bit wider around the Dreadquake, especially against Greenskins, who can kind of swarm you in many different ways. The Orc Boar Boys get some good value there. Regular Boar Boys, not so much. I mean, I would expect the infantry for Taco to get largely destroyed here, and it does. Likewise, the Spore Explode has actually got 830 value. I thought for sure they would have just got wrecked. Right now, the Flappas are definitely the most cost-effective of the pump wagons, but we were just trying stuff out in this particular battle, so nice to see the Spore Exploders actually did do a thing. Yeah, definitely the Rock Lobbers are probably the MVPs, and then Grimgor, of course. I mean, 4,500 value on him definitely was the true carry of this build, just holding out true Chad until the end, breaking the train with his bare hands, pretty much. Yeah, it's just classic Grimgor stuff. Makes me happy when Grimgor does good things. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.